Yo, what's up, gamers? So, I walked into the breakroom today and Gary from IT has turned the TV area into a Game Pass beta test lab. The microwave has a sticky note that says Horde Siege ready, the sink is covered in fake grime, there's a tiny plastic bug on the table, and Gary's wearing safety goggles like he's about to personally deploy the Gears beta. So I'm like, Gary, why does the breakroom look like Xbox scheduled 12 incidents in 1 week? And he goes, because it's August optimization. Of course it is, because Xbox Game Pass just packed August Wave. So Xbox looked at August and said, what if your backlog had grubs, power washers, mechs, tiny survival, dating your furniture, factory sand, and one extremely stressed egg. But before we get into this, do me a favor, smash that like button if Game Pass keeps making your backlog worse just like mine, subscribe if you want the subscription chaos cleaned up, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? Now let's grab a mop because Gary says the Gears beta is live, the sink needs pressure washing, and I think the egg just filed a safety complaint. I also know I'm stuck cleaning all of this up. So if you could come along, because I'm gonna need your help too. Available now as early access for Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass, and pre-orders. Gears of War EA is getting an open beta. Early access runs until August 10th at 10 AM Pacific. Then the full open beta opens to everyone from August 13th through August 17th. This is not the full game launch, this is the beta access. The big hook is Horde Siege PvE, an evolved take on Gears co-op wave survival mode, with larger maps, more players, and bigger battles. So if you miss crushing grubs with the squad, this is the loudest thing in the update. This is where Xbox said what if Horde mode got bigger, angrier, and legally became Gary's personality. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Monsters Are Coming is a tower survival roguelike about protecting an ever-moving city. So instead of defending one nice little base, your city is rolling through danger like it forgot buildings are supposed to stay still. You gather resources, fortify defenses, fight off monster hordes, and try to survive long enough to reach the Ark. This is the game where your city has legs and somehow still has worse traffic than the breakroom. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. PowerWash Simulator 2 is the obvious Scruffy-D janitor pick. It is more cleaning, more dirty locations, more equipment, and more oddly satisfying pressure washing therapy. You can clean solo or bring friends, because apparently even grime is better with the co-op. The whole point is simple: see mess, spray mess, erase mess, and feel your brain relax for once. This is the game where the mess finally respects the equipment, which is more than I can say for the breakroom sink. Dropping August 11th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Bounty Star is an over-the-shoulder 3D action game with mech combat, customization, farming, and base building. You play as Clem, a broken but powerful ex-soldier, war veteran, fighter, and expert mech pilot. So yes, you're piloting a mech, but you're also building a life around it. This is the game where Trauma gets a mech suit, then somehow still has to water the crops. Dropping August 11th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Date Everything is a weird dating sim pick. It is a sandbox dating simulator set inside your own home, and 100 fully voice-acted dateable characters. And yes, that includes things like your bed, your smoke alarm, and apparently your overwhelming sense of existential dread. So if you ever looked around your house and thought, what if the lamp had feelings? Game Pass now has you covered. This is the game where your furniture has romance options, and somehow the smoke alarm has more charisma than Gary. Dropping August 11th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Ground 2 is back in game preview with the bigger tiny survival adventure. You can play solo or co-op, craft weapons and armor, build your base, and explore the playground while riding around on your buggy. This update is called Into the Abyss, which sounds exactly like something a bug would name your worst afternoon. The world is larger, the danger is bigger, and you are still very small. This is the game where the backyard becomes an open world survival nightmare, and somehow the bugs still own the property. Dropping August 12th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Ball Pit is a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building survival roguelike. That is a lot of words, but the idea is simple. You blast enemies with ricocheting balls, gather riches from the pit, expand your homestead, generate resources, and recruit heroes. So it is part arcade chaos, part survival grind, and part who gave the balls a business plan. This is the game where Breakout became a survival strategy, and the balls started doing payroll. Dropping August 13th on cloud, console, and PC, Cricket 26 is a sports sim pick. This one brings an all-new management career, an expanded Ashes mode, pro team roster building, and enhanced gameplay mechanics on the pitch. So if you follow Cricket, this is a serious sports entry in the wave. You build your team, manage your rise, play the big rivalries, and try to become the problem everyone else has to prepare for. This is the game where Game Pass said, yes, your backlog needs Cricket management. Dropping August 13th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Mio, Memories in Orbit is the atmospheric Metrovania pick. You play as Mio, a nimble android exploring a vast decaying world reclaimed by nature and robots. You explore labyrinth environments, fight rogue machines, uncover secrets, and search for lost memories. So this is for players who want movement, mystery, combat, and a moody world that looks like it has been quietly falling apart for years. This is the game where nature won, robots got weird, and memory loss came with platforming. Dropping August 13th on PC, Sandustry is a day one Game Pass factory game and game preview. You explore and mine fully destructible worlds, automate increasingly complex production chains, dig deeper for ancient civilization secrets, and learn that every pixel of sand is apparently a valuable resource. So if you like automation games, resource loops, and slowly building a machine that becomes smarter than your schedule, this one is aimed directly at you. This is the game where every grain of sand has a job, which means it is already more organized than Gary. Dropping August 18th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Edging On is a fragile egg platformer. You play as a real egg trying to escape the hen house, which already sounds like breakfast attempting a prison break. You jump, roll, and climb through a farm shop, a factory, and other dangerous environments while trying to not crack under pressure. Literally, this is the hard-boiled challenge pick where every movement matters. This is the game where breakfast tries to escape and every jump feels like a lawsuit. Also available now, Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass members with EA Play can try Madden NFL 27 for up to 10 hours. This is a trial, not the full Game Pass drop, but it does come with EA Play perks, including a welcome pack, monthly Ultimate Team pack, and savings on Madden points. So if you want to run the league before buying in, this is the test drive. This is not the full game, but 10 hours is plenty of time for your team to disappoint you professionally. Available now, Game Pass subscribers can also grab Call of Duty Warzone Game Pass Pack 7. This is an in-game bundle, not a new game. It includes operator skins, weapon blueprints, a finishing move, weapon charm, emote, equipment skin, calling card, emblem, stickers, and a 1-hour double weapon XP token. So if you're already playing Warzone or Black Ops 7, it is worth claiming. This is not a new download, but free cosmetics still make the loadout goblins clap. So that's the latest Xbox Game Pass wave. Some of these are full games, some are game preview updates, some are benefits, and Gears of War E-Day is beta access, not the full launch, but at least you can try it. So now we're back at the break room, and Gary has somehow connected the controller to the microwave. There's still that tiny Spartan helmet sticker slapped on the door from the last video, and the screen still says Horde Siege Ready. Meanwhile, Gary is just standing over at the sink with a pressure washer nozzle, blasting a coffee stain off a mug, like PowerWash Simulator just became mandatory training. So I'm like, Gary, why are you trying to play Gears on the microwave, and why are you pressure washing a coffee cup? And he goes, because we're doing some Game Pass testing. Of course we are. And that is when I realized Game Pass did not just give Gary more games, it gave him 11 new reasons to misuse breakroom equipment and cause chaos to my day. Well, that's all I got. I gotta bounce before Gary beta tests Gears on the microwave, pressure washes the toaster, and tries to date the smoke alarm for content. But before I go, do me a favor. Smash that like button if Game Pass just made your backlog worse, just like mine. Subscribe if you want the subscription chaos cleaned up by a janitor, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? This is Scruffy the Janitor signing off. Peace out.